Hello and welcome to your solar eclipse video. Now the solar eclipse will be happening on the 4th of December 2021 in the sign of Sagittarius, and this is a collective message for everyone. For the past 18 months, we've basically been having eclipses in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius. The North Node is in Gemini with the South Node in Sagittarius. Now, what does Sagittarius rule? Sagittarius rules over long distance travel. It is ruled by Jupiter, so optimism, motivation, luck, opportunities, doors opening, adventure. That's the energy, hope, beliefs. Whereas Gemini rules over our travel within our immediate environment. If we think bicycle rides, car rides, whereas Sagittarius would be the airplane. So that being said, with the South Node moving in 2020 into Sagittarius, it challenges those aspects for us, our opportunities, our travels, our dreams, our hopes, our optimism, right? So that's where it's been challenging, and we'd have to develop our North Node energy, which would be curiosity, seeking what we can do within our environment, learning, dual understanding of things, because Mercury is that duality when it comes to communication, when it comes to picking up facts, gaining facts, information, all of those things, learning. Now, with this eclipse that's happening on the 4th, right? The solar eclipse, the South Node is with it. So the new moon is happening in Sagittarius with the sun. And this energy is about releasing. It's karmic. It's about clearing. The new moon is about new beginnings. But this is a shedding of past experiences. And we won't have this eclipse cycle until 2029. So basically, we are going through a process of clearing out old things that no longer make us feel hopeful, make us feel, like life's an adventure. So we need to remember to keep an open mind when the energy is in Sagittarius, because it still rules over holding an open mind, still having the sense of an eclipse is taking us on a journey for new doors to open for us. But we need to be ready and prepared to let go of the old ones, the old hopes. There's a new sense of you that's been coming through in the last 18 months. Who you are now 18 months ago is different. You're a different person. Your value, the sense of who you are, is totally different. So now is a point where if you're seeing past stuff come up, because the South Node is karmic, past patterns, situations, people, things that basically put you in that space of lacking a sense of belief. You are going to feel as though it's time to let go. You're going to feel it's a time to release, to move forward in a new direction. Because that's what eclipses do. They set the trajectory, basically to set us on a new way of moving forward. But we need to be prepared to let go. Mercury is also in Sagittarius, but it's in its detriment as Gemini rules over Mercury. So our thoughts are hopeful. We have this idea of where we see ourselves and where we want to go, but we don't know all the facts. That's what it means. And we should be very careful with our words during this solar eclipse, because Sagittarius is the archer. So imagine all that fire, because Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's mutable, so it's changing, right? It's a masculine energy. And with Mercury, the sun, the moon being in Sagittarius, this is where our words can be like arrows with fire. It can really hit. So it's important to see what we are saying and how we're expressing ourselves during this time. We don't want to end up saying something that we don't truly believe, because this is a lot about what you believe, and your beliefs are currently in a state of changing. Okay, so that's very important to note. Watch out for that energy. Be careful of burnout as well. There's a lot of fire energy, so we want to go off into many directions. We want to have these hopes. We want to do this and we want to do that. There's so much we want to do. But burnout, when it comes to fire energy, is real. So take it slow and be gentle with yourself, especially. Now, with Saturn being in Aquarius as well. Within a sextile to the sun and the moon, there is a sense of responsibility and a stable energy that is coming through. There is a sense of stability of what we want to create, this new version, this new you that is being born since you've been on this journey of transformation for the past 18 months. Since 2020, a lot has changed, with the South Node being in Sagittarius and the North Node being in Gemini. We've gone through a process of releasing and letting go a lot. And in that process, you have changed as well. And it's not just on a world view, even though Sagittarius rules over the world at large in a sense because it's ruled by Jupiter, right? It's that expansive energy within you as well. When it comes to your day-to-day life and the way that you do things, it has completely changed. Now, Sagittarius also has a spiritual energy to it, a spiritual sense of wisdom, because it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is that wisdom. Jupiter is that energy of manifestation. Jupiter is that energy of motivation, expansion, and growth. And Jupiter is in the sign of Aquarius. So there's a part of your future self that is communicating with you right now about what you want to create in your life. And it is changing. And there is a process of releasing and letting go of things that are not working in order for new things to be born, whether it's a work situation, whether it's a relationship. That energy is definitely changing, especially because Venus is already in its pre-shadow period of its retrograde, right? It goes retrograde on the 19th of December 2021. Now, Venus rules over love and how we connect, how we partner up. Now, a few days after the solar eclipse, Venus is going to join Pluto. It's going to conjunct. And Pluto is the lord of the underworld. So there is a sense of changing within you about how you value yourself, your sense of self-love and sense of self-worth. It's approaching the conjunction around the solar eclipse on the 4th, but a couple days later, it'll be in this energy of this conjunction, and on the 19th, it's going into its retrograde. So we are in a process of basically, especially when Pluto's involved, because Pluto's a lot of the underworld, things have to come to an end in the way in which we place our value on certain things and even people. And this is in a way for a new sense of value to grow within you. This is in a way in order for you to be able to partner up with people. And when I say partner up, be it love, friendship, work, Venus is the energy of joining. So when we come together and we communicate and we see how we can work together, but we can't work together if we're holding on to the past, which the solar eclipse definitely wants to clear out, those past karmic experiences and patterns, and shedding and clearing addiction, anything that's no longer serving you. It really wants to do that for you. Venus retrograde also takes us into the past in order to clear out on a deep level so that we can connect better to people and places and with ourself, with our value, with our finance, with our love for life, with our love for our people that we love, but with the love that we cultivate within ourselves. So that's also happening. By the 15th, right, Sagittarius will move into the sign of Mars. With this solar eclipse, Scorpio is in Mars. Okay, so we are prone to overreact with that solar eclipse as well. Really overreact and blow things out of proportion with Scorpio being in Mars during the solar eclipse. But this is because we're in this place of shedding, releasing, and cleansing and letting go of old things. By the 15th, because Venus is the energy of connection coming together, Mars is the stop, the boundary, the no. Mars moving into Sagittarius with that South Node is where we are very clear of relationships, people, situations, anything that's toxic and draining, we want to clear out of our lives. We want to say no more by the 15th. And this is important to note because Solar eclipses are like that. Eclipses are like that. They take us into months, the next eclipse cycle, which is 6 months later. So we have this time, and especially just after the eclipse, where we are processing, where we are working with clearing out a lot. Watch for the communication, because the communication can come off a bit fuzzy during the solar eclipse, meaning like, like I said, it might sting, it might burn a little. And that's going to leave you thinking about who you are, how you've changed, and how you've developed, and what you will allow and no longer want in your life, and what you do want within your life, and the communication you have with yourself. Because let's be honest here, we can really be self-critical in our own heads when we communicate with ourselves. Remember, Mercury rules thoughts too. So are those thoughts loving and nurturing, or are those thoughts hurting? And hurting you emotionally, destroying your sense of optimism, because those things need to be cleared out. It needs to be released. It needs to come to a place where you can let it go and allow for growth and evolution of you, because it's definitely calling, and it's definitely wanting to be born and to come through with this beautiful solar eclipse. Be open, be flexible, and allow for the miracles to happen. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. My website is linked down below if you'd like a reading, as well as a link for appreciation of posts.